Hello and welcome back. Again, as always, if you like this content, please remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Thank you for once again joining me as we continue in our discussion of Liam Payne's final days. This is part two. We have five imputados in this case, or as we say in English, there are five individuals who have been charged in relation to Liam Payne's unalivement. Those individuals are Brian Pais, who is being charged with dealing of substances, Ezekiel Pereira, who is also charged with dealing of substances, as well as two hotel workers, Esteban Grassi, the head of reception, and Hilda Martin, who is the operations manager. Now, their specific charges are unknown. However, we do know they received a formal charge. And last but definitely not least, Rogelio Kermit Norris, who is being charged with abandonment of a person resulting in death. Rogelio, looking like Kermit, straight up looking like Kermit the Frog, all right? Guilty of being the mastermind, allegedly, in my opinion. He sure is the mastermind. Let's go through some of our other individuals. Brian Pais, okay? Everybody's favorite freeloader. But yet he's an honest freeloader. So honest that all he will take from you is your dirty diaper. That's right, he'll leave your Rolex and your designer clothes, and all he wants from you is your dirty diaper. We have Ezekiel Primavera, I believe that's his name, Casa Sur hotel employee who allegedly smuggled substances in a Dove soap box. I mean, Liam Payne said he wanted clean drugs, right? I mean, but this has gone a bit too far, right? And now we have who I consider is the axis of evil, Esteban Grassi. I am a big believer of kind of analyzing last names and somehow that name being a reflection of who you are, okay? But in Italian, grassi, grasso is related to fats. It means fat. So in my opinion, this guy, we're dealing with someone who likes to be larger than life, the top dog, okay? Yeah, with his tire-shaped head, looking like a straight-up tire. Yeah, that head looks straight up like a tire. So he's evil and guilty in my opinion. Also, let's remember, he is the person who called 911 and informed us exactly of how Liam Payne was going to pass on, right? And I mean, that is a detail that cannot be overlooked, because if you accurately predict how someone is going to, how someone's life is going to be terminated, all right, then by logic, right, you are somehow involved, right? How can you predict how someone is going to be found unless you're the top psychic in the world or you had something to do with it? So let us not forget that he had details of Liam Payne's passing before anyone else did, before he was even declared as passed. So that is something of note. Okay. Also, we have Hilda Martin. Okay, and she is the operation manager. She is the brains. Okay, she would be the brains of the operation. She is like the wizard in the Wizard of Oz, the silent puppet master. And of course, last but not least, everybody's best friend, just like Chandler, because after all, he'll be there for you, Rogelio. With friends like these, who needs enemies? Norris. Yes, that is right. Rogelio Norris. Okay. Yeah, so Rogelio Norris, in my opinion, is the mastermind. Okay. I mean, what do I have? What facts? What do I have to support this? Well, let's look at this. Okay. So we know that Liam is now staying, has to extend his stay in Argentina because of the visa. But how does he get to Casa Sur, American Horror Story Hotel, right? Amen. American Horror Story Hotel, Casa Sur. How does he get there? Well, let's look at some of these text messages that are between Rogelio, el mastermind, mastermente, and the jefe de recepción, who is Esteban Graci. Okay, so let's take a look at this. It says, Buenas tardes, okay, Senora Noyes. And basically, what he's saying in this text is he's saying, hello, Senor Norris, great greetings. Is there anything in particular that you would like in the suite that has been reserved? Okay. Now, why is he talking directly to Rogelio Norris? Right? I mean, isn't this suite, we've been made to believe that the suite is for Liam, right? I mean, he's talking to Rogelio Norris because Rogelio is the person whose credit card is on file for this room, okay? That's how hotels work. Hotels communicate with the person who is the financially responsible, okay? The person who has the reservation made under their name, okay? That is obvious. So Rogelio had a lot more access to this room than he likes to make apparent, okay? Because obviously we have the boss of reception contacting you directly, Rogelio. You directly, Rogelio. They are not contacting Liam, okay? Which means that Rogelio was the point of contact, which means that he probably has keys as well and access to the room whenever he wants. Rogelio Norris, in the documentary, the TMZ documentary, okay, he portrayed himself as being of noble character. He made such a point of showing us, of stating how boring he is. He actually said boring. He called himself boring. He said how he doesn't do drugs. He is so noble, okay? He is so noble, yet he is not noble enough to stop his best friend from acquiring substances, okay? It's very, very bizarre, because how can he say, how is he going to say that he is so against substances, and yet he is the one who is financially controlling the situation? If he doesn't want Liam to have substances, then he doesn't have to finance them. Okay? I mean, he really, really put forth and set in motion this whole entire narrative of Liam Payne being an out of control boozaholic, substance taking boozaholic. He even submitted to the judge's inquiry a 94-page document explaining how Liam Payne was addicted to H. Okay? It's like, I don't believe that Liam Payne was this raging substance abuser. Okay? That couldn't function, that couldn't be left alone. I 100% disagree with what Rogelio Norris is propagating, okay? Simply because that is his own one way to get the light of suspicion off of him. I really disagree with that. And going back to Kate, my goodness, the moment she said, hey, I'm going back, I would have been like, heck, man, what do you got to do? You ain't got no job, okay? It's Friday, man. You ain't got no job. What you got to do? Brain surgery? Okay? You got a life to save? Why do you got to go back to the United States so fast? Is it your child's first day of kindergarten? Excuse me, not like she has kids. I mean, crap. What is so important that you leave your lover? Okay? A person who is going to leave his mother of his child and his kid and get a visa and pretty much live full time with you, girl. Okay? I mean, you're getting financial assistance from him. Okay? I mean, the gall of people. I mean, to say, hey, I'm going back and I'm going to leave you here. Okay? Where is she going? I mean, to me, it's obvious. Again, this is alleged, but to me, it's obvious that she took Liam's credit cards with her. I mean, how else is she going to pay to get home? She did that awesome video showing her dressed up in her J-Lo sweatsuit from O2 and crap. All right, and stuff. She made a great video vlog of documenting her leaving. Why did she spend so much time showing us how she was actually leaving? Okay, was that to deflect upon the fact that her leaving set forth Rogelio Norris's role to reserve this room at this American Horrors hotel? Okay, is that why? Is that why she spent so much time on this? Okay. I mean, it begs the question, right? Okay, so going back to Roger, yes. So Roger is the one who is communicating with the head of reception, all right? He is the one who made the arrangements for this hotel, okay? Liam Payne, at this point in the story, does not have the agency, okay? He cannot act for himself, okay? He cannot act for himself. But Rogelio Norris does a really great job of trying to show us that he's different from Liam. He doesn't do drugs, okay? You know, he knows, Rogelio Norris is not stupid. He knows that once an individual is labeled as a drug addict, okay, then that can close the case. Okay. And that's what was going on early on in this case when they were issuing false statements stating that he was on pink cocaine and all the pink, whatever that, you know what that word is, pink stuff, that he was on all this other stuff. Okay. He knows that once you are labeled as a drug user, you are labeled that, and no one will pursue the case even further. All right. So yeah, he portrays him as an out of control on a binge, Rogelio Kermit. All right, how dare you? Okay, how dare you? He wants to convince the public that he is so squeaky clean as an altar boy on Sunday Mass. So desperately wants to communicate to the public that he is the opposite of Liam on TMZ. Okay, interview. On that TMZ interview, all he did was dry snitch on Liam. All he did was dry snitch on Liam and his legacy. Okay? He doesn't do drugs like Liam. He is boring. Okay? So much emphasis on that. All right? But what we see through that, if you're smart, you can see through that. Okay? We see that he's a hypocrite. Okay? He's a hypocrite. How can you say that you are so opposed to drugs and alcohol if you're the one paying for it? How can we say that? You're the one who's sending up all of these bottles of whiskey to his room. Right? That's you. You're the one who eventually sends ladies of the evening to his room. We are going to explore those. Okay? Rogelio Norris is very, very dangerous. He's a psychopath, a sociopath. It's obvious. Look at his face. Don't you just get vibes? Don't you pick up on the vibes? I sure do. I mean, and he's trying to say that he doesn't do drugs. I mean, really? Really? You sure about that, son? You sure about that? Because these faces to me look like someone who knows a lot about getting getting high. All right? I'm sorry. These photos to me look like someone who does substances, uppers. I mean, look, he's all sweaty right here. He's all sweaty and greased. We have that oily shine on his face, all greasy and wet. Looking, that's to me, that's nothing but substances. Okay. It's insane. Okay. So he wants to distance himself from that lifestyle, But seriously, I believe that he is more involved in that lifestyle than he wants to make apparent. Okay, to me, he is the one that is addicted and an addict. Okay, let's go on to these communications with the head of reception that Rogelio and the mastermind does. Okay, in this text, he is saying that I'm informing you that the girls have arrived to your room. Okay, this is in reference to those ladies of the evening. Okay, they ordered champagne, and we sent 2 bottles of Johnny Walker to the room. Rogelio Norris responds, "Muchísimas gracias," or "thank you very much." Why is the head of reception communicating directly that these ladies have arrived? Okay, especially if they are for Liam Payne, right? Why does Rogelio Norris need to know that these ladies have arrived? Okay, why? He needs to know because he is the one who planted them there. Do I believe that Liam Payne ordered these women? Okay, sure, his girlfriend left, but he's staying behind to make a life with this girl. Do I really, really believe that he ordered these 2 girls? Possible, sure, it's possible, but I really don't believe so. I mean, look at this. These were the text messages that were put on Argentina news. Okay, and let's take a look. I mean, first of all, I have problems with these text messages already. These are the alleged text messages that were sent with Liam Payne communicating to these ladies. First of all, I find it very just sus. I mean, do they really, really want us to believe that Liam Payne goes on the internet and gets these girls and then drops his Instagram profile that has his first name and his last name, his full-on Instagram profile? That's a little sus. I mean, why would anyone, especially famous, okay, who can't have too much stuff in the media, why the heck would they order girls online using their full Instagram page? That seems a little odd. That seems a little forced. It seems a little bit like someone is really, really trying hard to make us believe that it is Liam Payne who is ordering these girls, okay? Another thing that I found very, 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 very interesting about these messages. Okay, in these messages, Liam allegedly states, "I'd gift you $5,000. Okay, first of all, everyone knows that no native English speaker is going to text, "I'd gift you $5,000. Okay, that to me sounds like someone who's not a native English speaker, possibly Roger, who is writing this in. And that is a subtlety that will help us understand that this is not Liam. Liam is an English speaker, okay? He would say, "I'd give you $5,000, which is already a lot of money. But to say, "I'd gift you 5,000, that's nothing that a native English speaker would say. We don't speak like that. We are not going to say to a bunch of ladies of the evening, "I'd gift you $5,000. We might say, "I'd give GIVU $5,000. Okay. Plus just the word "I'd." There aren't too many native English speakers either who would use that contraction. That's a little bit awkward. So to me, that is further evidence to show that Liam did not write these texts. He did not write them. They would be phrased a lot differently, phrased in a different manner, phrased in a manner that is more conducive to the way native English speakers speak, okay? To me, this seems like someone who is trying to emulate or copy how they think Liam would say something, but they made some critical mistakes. I believe they are critical. They're subtle, but if you are observant, you will notice, okay? he didn't write these texts. All right. Plus, not to mention, with the evidence of the manager speaking directly to Rogelio, announcing their arrival, that just shows to me that Rogelio is the mastermind and is pulling the puppet strings. Okay, so let's move on to the final moments, and it is just sad when we see these photos of his last moments. I mean, it is devastating to me. It is absolutely devastating to me because what we are seeing here, I mean, at this point, right here, Liam is, I mean, he's being subdued and dragged. I mean, we can see that he's being dragged. I mean, his feet are down. He is not wanting to go where these people are saying. He is not passed out, okay? If he were passed out, his legs would be a lot more limp, all right? But we see his legs in a position meant to stop them from being moved, okay? This hold right here that we have here, this is not a therapeutic hold. This is not a hold that you would use on someone who's been passed out, on someone who is convulsing, or whatever other lies they wanted to state. Okay, this is a hold that is extremely painful. Okay, and you are 100% immobile. Liam cannot move. He cannot move out of this position. He really can't. Okay, they have rendered him completely motionless, which must have been 100% terrifying and completely scary for him. You see how they're holding his elbow, stopping him from moving his elbow. They're holding him by his wrists. Can you imagine how painful that is? He has his weight now on his shoulders, on his neck, on his shoulder blades. This is not a proper way to carry anyone up. I've only seen this done from law enforcement, who of course has the right to do this in order to subdue a potential suspect. But this is not something that is meant to help an individual. This hold right here is a non-therapeutic hold, and it is meant to subdue a person. Okay, so as we know, they then proceed up to the elevator, where we have even more shocking photos. And here, oops, we can see here that Liam Payne, I mean, it appears that his arm is cocked. Like, he clearly does not want to go back into that room. I mean, he is probably shocked, confused. He's obviously in extreme pain. He would be in extreme pain after being carried like that. Also, right here, I think this is really crazy. I mean, it appears to me, it looks to me, and again, comment if you see the same thing, but it appears to me like right here that they almost have him in a headlock. Okay, and as we can see here, his body is twisted up. This is a really terrible position to be in terms of your body and your neck alignment. Okay, right here, just from the contortions of his body, perhaps in trying to get him to the room, perhaps they may have broken his neck inadvertently or injured him to an extent where he was paralyzed. I mean, he's being roughly manhandled by these individuals who are bigger than him and who appear to be using all of their strength on him to get him back into this room for some reason. So maybe they realized that he was paralyzed. They got scared and they threw him off the balcony. If he's paralyzed, that would explain why he cannot put his arms in a defensive position. All right. At any rate, thank you so much for joining me. That is all that I have for you today. Look out for another one, a next one, whenever that may be. And again, I will continue to, all we can do is continue to pray for justice, and that's what we will do. Justice for Liam Payne. Thank you.